Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning on this 05.10.2023. Current time is 05:38 a.m. Eastern Time here in Upstate New York. That would be the southern tier of Upstate New York where I live and reside. Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich here on Twitch, at Fireman Rich over there on Twitter. That's where you can find good links to good stuff to where I'm at doing and what I'm doing. I just tweeted out this broadcast. And give me a follow if you're watching this. This will be repurposed over there on YouTube and Rumble as far as that goes. And we did tweet it out. We have a good stream. About 23 bytes per second. I got this up here just to try to... And as you can see, I don't have the coffee yet. It's being made. I pushed the start button right at the beginning of the broadcast here. I'm looking, it's like, wait a minute. Where is the coffee? And as far as that goes, and it's like, I forgot to start the coffee. So with that... we are getting our day started here on this Wednesday hump day, and starting a little late. I don't rush around as quickly as I used to as far as that goes. Hang on for a minute. Let me do something. I just noticed something in the background here. Hang on for a minute. This is out of whack here. I got to move this over a little bit. There we go. That's in the shot there. There we go. I like seeing the moon is out there. I might get the telescope out this morning. The moon is right about there up in the sky. I saw it this morning, so it's going to be. I might take the telescope out in the backyard there, as far as that goes, and we'll see how it goes and stuff. So, well, this is pretty neat. I like this. I like this idea or that way I'm not flipping back. I got an extra device monitoring the broadcast as far as that goes, and but I got the coffee going, so I may have to step away probably in a minute or two to get my coffee as far as that goes. And let's see, we are on the tweet board, and looks like is Randy W. Horton live? Oh no, that's a replay. He was live. Oh, maybe he is live. Was he using guest? Well, Randy W. Horton has been suspended, not banned. He's been suspended for 30 days. But suspended, banned, is that? I don't know. You can be banned for 30 days, right? Suspended, banned, if there's a time limit and stuff like that to it. So I'm not understanding. Oh, okay. This is. Good morning, Thamer. Okay, so he was on Welcome Guest IRL. Oh, okay. I took that. He doesn't use guest stars. Okay. Good morning, Thamer. Good morning, Tim Fan. Yo, for Tim Fan from Michigan, and Thamer from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And Thamer, he's our good friend Randy W. Horton. He stated the other day in his broadcast he is definitely suspended for 30 days, not 10 days. Though that you never know, Twitch might lighten up on him and stuff like that. But I did see a broadcast yesterday morning where he a month minimum. So he'll be over on YouTube now as far as that goes. And I'm not organized this morning. I don't have my coffee. Okay, if you're just coming in, Tim and Ray, I don't have my coffee yet. I forgot to push the button, so the coffee's brewing right now. But our good friend Randy, he has a 1-month ban, and that was per him in his one of his broadcasts yesterday. And he has tried to appeal it, but I don't think it's going to happen. It won't happen. So, but he's making do with YouTube. I'm catching the replays on there, and I have my alerts on, but they're not going. Hot baby, the Saudi edition. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now, and we'll go over that. Dammer, thank you. You know, it's interesting when we talk about the weather and there's somebody right there and you're experiencing it and stuff like that. And this is for our folks on Rumble and YouTube on the replay. We have a worldwide audience in the chat here. We got Tim Fan coming in from Michigan, who's on the job site right now. I saw him on a replay on Randy W. Horton's YouTube yesterday. He's spraying. That's gold content. Tim, I appreciate it. You know, even though the camera, it's still great content. Okay, it's like you're providing some very good insight on the job there, and he's suspended, not banned. Yeah, I just said that, Thamer. Yeah, he's because I was telling the missus he was banned, and she says, well, no, he's suspended if it's 30 days. It's like, okay, but can you get a 1 day ban of 30? What's the difference? If a time is associated with the ban, it's almost the same thing as a suspension. But ban is more severe. I know, you know, that as far as that goes. Let's see, Tim Fan, the foam messed my camera. Yeah, but you could still see. I still saw you, and you could still see the job site. Plus, have a cheap phone. But you know, the thing is, that's in real life. You're doing something in real life. You're a working stiff now. That's one thing I am not, as far as that goes. And I just want to let you know, even though you think it's interesting. It's interesting content. He was using his other account on. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not going to comment on that. I'm gonna stay away from that. Okay, just as I don't want to add anything. Okay, so I'm just going to say that our good friend Randy W. Horton is surviving over on YouTube. Check him out over on YouTube. Here's his Twitter account. He's a good friend of ours. That he had an individual that said something in his broadcast, and he's going to do some changes. And I hope he doesn't do subscriptions only, because I do have a subscription this month, but I don't normally do the subscriptions. I'm one of those guys that I can watch the ads. And yeah, I don't want to go anything to add fuel to the fire, I guess you could say, as far as that, to make it. But he's a good. I do support him on, and YouTube is great. Yeah, YouTube is okay. I have noticed though, Thamer, the chat comments are very slow. I was watching one yesterday. They were almost. He was seeing chat where I was seeing the chat, and was almost like a minute delay. And it might be because of his internet. Big cheesy cheeseburger. Good morning. Some idiot in Randy's chat was making. Yeah, they were making certain comments, and but that's the responsibility of broadcaster. I know that too. As soon as I see that person's getting blocked, I have a zero tolerance. I think I remember that broadcast, watching it on replay before Randy was suspended, and I sort of like, ooh, what's this guy? He warned the guy, and he was doing his, but he was driving and stuff like that, and yeah, my YouTube notifications on YouTube they don't notify. So I'm making it a concerted effort to look for Randy, I guess, because he does do a daily broadcast. I think he was up earlier today. I have to check that out later. I saw it on the Twitter feed there, as far as that goes. And but that's why I have a zero tolerance. If I just got any inkling and stuff like that, and something like that, I would and I'm learning from that. That's a comment you want to delete right out of there and stuff like that. So, and Randy's been there before. It's not his first rodeo. Thamer, it's my fault. I gave this guy 10 times out. Yeah, well, you live and learn, Thamer. I don't think Randy's gonna, you learned, the other mods probably learned and stuff like that. You just got to be a little bit more, because there was an individual that sort of, I don't know. He was promoting somebody new and stuff like that, and the frickin' troll made a comment and stuff like that he shouldn't have. And I'm not going to go into detail because it doesn't bring anything to the table. What brings to the table is we learn something from, and we push on and we move on and stuff like that. And we still support Randy W. Horton. He's going to be over there on YouTube. He's on Kick. There's his Twitter feed. Go ahead and support him, please, over on YouTube. He usually Either him or some of the many people that are in his chat usually post up the link in his Twitter feed as far as where he's at, or when he goes live on, if you don't get the notifications and stuff. But just Google Randy W. Horton and you'll see where his YouTube page is. So, but we live and learn, Thamer. So no issues. I'm not, as far as that goes. Yeah, let's get to the weather. Currently here in this, thank you, Thamer. He's my new producer here. My producer for this broadcast here. Move on, Rich. You're beating a dead horse. Is that what you're saying, Thamer? Currently here in the southern tier of upstate New York, it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius here, and I'm looking out. It looks like it's supposed to be a good day today. I will be mowing the lawns. I trimmed a bush yesterday, a Korean spice bush there that I got back on my 40th or my 50th birthday, 15 years ago, because I am 65 now. I am 65. I can say that. And I am retired, officially retired. I'm no longer a working stiff. So, OC kind of cold. Okay, let's see. Currently here in the southern tier, it's sunny, hot. It's very sunny today. It's going to be sun across the board. I got to get my solar panels out today. High is 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sun will be rising at 5:51. We're up before the sun here. Okay, because it's 5:49, so that's in 3 minutes. The sun will be rising at 5:51 a.m. Eastern time here in upstate New York, southern tier of upstate New York where I live and reside, and it will be setting at 8:14 p.m. 8:14 p.m. Eastern time. So there's our current temperature. Our world times and temperatures, it's 11:49 in Honolulu, Hawaii with clear skies, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. In Phoenix, Arizona, it's at 2:49 a.m. clear skies, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, we have clear skies, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicago, Illinois, it is partly cloudy, partly clear, 4:50 a.m., 48 degrees Fahrenheit. And New York City, the jungle, it's sunny. It's going to be it's sunny down there. The sun probably rose a little early, a minute or two before us. 5:50 a.m. currently, local time here also in New York City, 52 degrees Fahrenheit. Across the pond in Cork, Ireland at 10:50 a.m., cloudy skies, 48 degrees Fahrenheit. In Milan, Italy at 11:50 a.m., it's raining, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Good morning, Lady Cat. And let's see. Milan, Italy, 57 degrees Fahrenheit. In Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where Thamer lives, and yes, it is 102 degrees there, Thamer. You got the air conditioning cranking, right? 102 degrees at 12:50 p.m., 12:51 p.m. currently. In New Delhi, India, sunny skies at 3:21 p.m., 99 degrees Fahrenheit. In Mumbai, India, at 3:21 also, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit. A little cooler there, and cloudy. It's cloudy. Kuala Lumpur, I love saying Kuala Lumpur. Sunny skies at 5:51 p.m., 91 degrees Fahrenheit. In Manila, Philippines, at 5:51. Thunderstorms at 81 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's probably a really humid 81. Tokyo, Japan, 6:51 p.m., partly cloudy, partly clear, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's Murdoch. Melbourne, Australia, it is 7:51 p.m. at 55 degrees Fahrenheit, cloudy skies. In Sydney, Australia, it is clear skies, 7:51 p.m., 59 degrees Fahrenheit. And those are our world times and temperatures as we speak. Where Big Cheesy at is kind of cold. And Tina, good morning, Tina. Good morning. Tina's here. Thank you for being here, Tina. Big Cheesy, 10:49. Let's see, right now, what's it over there? It's it's about 10:52 now, 10:53, where Big Cheesy Greasy Cheeseburger is in London. He got up at 3 a.m. So 3 a.m. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was going to bed when you were just getting up at 3 a.m. There's a 5-hour difference between here on the U.S. East Coast and was it the U.K. and Ireland. Let's see. I heard Cap. Yeah, that was Murdoch. Cap. That was Murdoch. He's always meowing. Somebody's in the bathroom. He likes being in the bathroom with somebody. He's the bathroom patrol. And yeah, 5 hours behind UK. Yeah, 5-hour difference. I would say we're behind. Well, yeah, I guess we are behind. There is a 5-hour difference as far as that goes. And yeah, they're always meowing for one thing or the other. Let's see. We do have our thought for the day. It is from a fellow New Yorker. He's not with us anymore, but a very famous New Yorker. And let me get the skinny. He is an American singer. Francis Albert Sinatra was an American singer and actor, nicknamed the Chairman of the Board, and later called Old Blue Eyes. Sinatra was one of the most popular entertainers in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. I would say 70s also. He cranked out a couple tunes in the 70s. He's among the world's best-selling music artists with the estimated 150 million records. But we have a thought, or his quote in our thought for today. I love Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra is a great guy as far as that goes. And yeah, Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, we had a quote for her yesterday, I believe. And Big Cheesy, Big Greasy Cheeseburger. I got to shorten that down somehow. I didn't realize until I gave that quote, and I've had quotes on her before that she was British. I always thought she was American. I've seen Tiffany Breakfast at Tiffany's as far as that goes. She's a very elegant lady, and very elegant from what I've seen on the films of her and the interviews and stuff, and she's a very gracious lady. Frank Sinatra, he was probably gracious, but he was a hard-nosed. He was a hard-nosed guy. He was a New Yorker. He was down there in New York City. As far as that goes, he was born in where was he born here? He was born he was born in New Jersey, I should say, Hoboken, New Jersey, and I should say he's in. How does I tag him as a fellow New Yorker? Maybe because the song New York. He lived in New York, so he was a fellow New Yorker. And I like Frank too, Tana. He's a great guy. He's got some good movies, some funny movies. His quote and our thought for today, and this is a good one because Blue Eyes, Old Blue Eyes. And Frank Sinatra's quote goes as follows: the best revenge is massive success. The best revenge against somebody. I don't really like that word revenge. You just like, okay, leave it go and stuff like that because justice will prevail. But he is saying, and he was very successful. So he says, like, there you go, I'm successful. I don't need to bother with you. The best revenge is massive success. A quote from Frank Sinatra, an American singer, an actor, as far as that goes. So let's see. I'm going to pause it here because you can see I do not have my coffee. For you guys just coming in, I started the broadcast. I didn't start the coffee. It's like I'm getting my cup and it's like, oh, there's no coffee. I forgot to push the button. So I will be right back. And to get the coffee. So stand by. Okay, I had an open mic. I like that. Thammer, I'm your producer. Come back here. Let's see. Thammer, nah. Best revenge is one to one fight with a guy is tested. Yeah, in some cases that's true. We do have the morning coffee here. Let me do my bit. There we go. Here we go. As far as that goes, so we're running a little late on the with the coffee. I'm sorry, but I don't have to rush, so I can do that, right? I'm your producer. Come back here. Yeah, I didn't get your permission, did I? Oh, let's see. Let's see. Let's go to our national days today. Let me get this coffee in me. Oh, God, that's good. That is good. How's our stream doing? Our stream's doing good. We're sitting at 2,430 kilobytes, and we're at 30 frames per second. I'm keeping it at 30 frames. I should try 60. I don't think there would be much that difference. What do you think, Thammer? There'd be that much of a difference? Because I've seen the replay at 30, and it's cranking. It's solid. The OBS is saying 26 kilobytes per second, but the Twitch is saying 24. So I keep on forgetting there's a kilobyte indicator right in the corner of the OBS. I have no problem using OBS, and if you're using Twitch guest stars, you have to use OBS to make guest stars work. I'm just going to say that because I saw somebody's broadcast, they were trying to use guest stars. They weren't using OBS at all. Randy W. Hortons. I'm just poking. Okay, so I want to thank the people that are in the broadcast. I'm just seeing on the bean count we got 7, so thank you very much for being here. It's greatly appreciated. As we're getting our Wednesday started, let's see, our national days. Let's see. Let's see. Just got to double check something here. And okay, our national days. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. What is it? Wednesday. Let's see. Big Cheesy. Best revenge is finding the kids who bullied me at school on Facebook and see what dead jobs they have. There you go. There you go. And that's part of you're more successful than they are, then, Big Cheesy. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's mean. You're more successful. They got, what'd you call it? And see what dead end jobs they have there. Go as far as that goes. Big Cheesy Leslie. I really ignore ignorant when it comes to tactical stuff, but the picture and sound looks good. Oh, okay, no problem, Thammer. That's what I think. I've seen the replays, and the 30 frames per second goes good as far as that goes. So okay, so our national days today is Wednesday, May 10th. It is the 130th day of the year. It is the 19th week of the year, and we're 36% through the year. And let's see, we have several national days. National Washington Day. No, throw that in the garbage there with the rest of the states. National Receptionist Day. What places have receptions other than hotels? World Lupus Day. Yeah. National Third Shift Worker Day. I did my fair share of third shift back in the day when I was in the Air Force. I was sort of like a fire alarm communication center, a 911 dispatcher there for when I was in the fire department for my time. But we have National Limpid Day. That's for blood. National School Nurse Day. Yeah. National Clean Up Your Room. Clean up your room. I can hear the missus say, oh, by the way, the missus is up and she says good morning. I'm going to go with this one because I like it. This is probably one of my favorite meals. If I do have it, I have to go to Red Lobster. That's giving it away right there. Reception is like a secretary. Yeah. They don't. You don't call them secretaries. They're called admin assistants now. And good morning to the Mrs. Lady Cat says. But we're going to go with National Shrimp Day. Who doesn't like shrimp? Unless you're allergic to. Can you be allergic to fish?
Yeah.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Shellfish.
Oh, shellfish. Okay, that's right. Okay. And shrimp is definitely a shellfish. Oh, that coffee is good. What's that?
You're welcome.
I pushed the button.
No, you pushed
Oh.
That's what makes it good.
I'm getting in trouble. The missus preps the coffee. I forgot to push the button this morning, and
Push the button, that's why it's good.
oh, yep. She made the coffee. I think it's six scoops to make a pot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I always forget. I always have to ask her and stuff like that. I actually did a load of wash yesterday when she was at her volunteer at the Historical Society. She goes to Tuesday. She volunteers at the Historical Society for about half a day, and so I was washing the dishes. Washing the dishes, doing the laundry, working on my I got a crafting project going on as far as a shadow board for my previous job, which I can't show you guys, okay, because then it gives away. And I said I have to stay true to my word there. I really can't talk about my previous job, even though get on that apron. Rich Tina says, yeah. No, I was doing the things because she went, and on Tuesday, I did the dishes. I did the morning dishes. And then there was a Korean spice flowering bush. It has, huh?
Something, yeah.
What's it?
Remember what it's called?
It's a Korean spice.
Yeah, something.
But we have one and it's a more mature plant than this one. But the fragrance is of the gods. When these flowers, I go in there and then I'm, manly guys don't like. But this smell, if you were to smell it, it smells so pleasant. It's Korean spice, the flower. I'm gonna have to bring one in, maybe Friday to show you. And but it needed to be trimmed. I got that back on my 50th birthday 15 years ago. I am 65 now. I am officially retired. So just to let you know, I know I don't look 65. Some people tell me, but. I used to say I feel like I'm 24. Now I think I'm in that 34 to 38 range right there. That's how I feel. I don't feel old. My body feels. I can feel it. I felt that going up and down the ladder. Let's see. Local shrimp gives me itchy nose. Thamer says. A man who can iron shirts is a very. I haven't done the iron yet. There, Big Cheesy. Let's see, Thamer, get the apron. Tina said, okay, we got that. Interesting. My body feels 80, Tim says. Mind is 25. Well, the amount of work you get up on that roof, that can really tax the hell out of you and stuff like that. I've seen roofers work and stuff like that. But let's see, National Shrimp Day. We're going to go with that one. I love shrimp, and be it cold shrimp, or fried up shrimp. Each year, May 10th, National Shrimp Day, recognizes Americans' favorite seafood. America eat more shrimp than any other seafood, and this is the day to celebrate the delicious seafood. Hashtag National Shrimp Day. We use the word prawn loosely to describe any large shrimp sometimes, because that's what they call them down in Australia, is they call them prawns. Sometimes known as jumbo shrimp. Some countries use the word prawn exclusively for all shrimp, and that's down there in Australia. So today is National Shrimp Day. So get a bucket of shrimp and have at it, as far as that goes. But yeah, I was busy for the good afternoon. And then I took a nap. We call shrimp prawns. Oh, you do call them prawns, Big Greasy. Okay. That's pretty cool. Okay, I can see where, if they say it in Australia, they got it from the UK, because Australia used to be part of the UK. And Lady Cat, I look younger than my age. Everyone thinks I'm younger. Oh, okay. And Thamer, I see people who serve in the military or fire department usually look good after. Well, it's because they probably keep actually. I attribute my looks and my health to the running I did back in my younger day. When I was in high school, um, let's see, I'm going off on a history tangent here. When I was in high school, I played basketball. I'm fairly tall, 6'5", but when I left from upstate to go downstate, when I went to Newburgh Free Academy, downstate in Orange County, New York, um, the I made the freshman basketball team and I made the JV, but I never made it to the varsity because they had if I would have stayed upstate, I would have probably started as a center. Down there, my height 6'5", what is it, they had guards at 6'5". I felt like I was in the NBA trying out for the varsity. So I ended up getting into running. I ran cross country my sophomore and my senior year, and I did track in my senior year. I lettered in the 2-mile relay, and I was the weak link. So I was placed right at the third leg. The first two guys got enough lead that I was able to maintain it, and even I did. The guy who ran the fourth leg, he just ran like the wind. Tony Banks was his name. I think he went to Binghamton University here. Great runner, good runner. But I did a lot of running back in my early days, and especially in the Air Force, which actually got me on the base running team where I was at Aviano. So I got to travel around to some Air Force competitions as a runner. I went to Spain for the European Air Force in Europe running championships, cross-country championships, and then also in Greece. So I got to see a little bit of Europe because, and it was fun. And but I was running back in that time close to anywhere from 150 to 200 miles a day training-wise. And to me back then, it was nothing. I look back on this. How the frick did I do that? What's your favorite running shoe? My favorite shoe, Thamer, was the original Nike Waffle. I had probably 5 or 6 pairs of those at one time. They were a great running shoe. But Nikes are more narrow, so unless I was able to find a wide, be right back, Tina. Okay. But my favorite shoe now is New Balance. When I was up in Boston, or up at Hanscom Field outside of Boston, at Hanscom Field, the sign there. I did some running. I was still doing my running when I was up there back in the early '80s, and I went to the New Balance factory. And New Balance is, yeah, Tim. There's no way I could do that. I'm lucky. I'm able to crank out a couple miles walking after the. I'm doing pretty good on the walking. I'm doing 5 days a week on my walking, so I'm sticking to that. So I usually do my walking right after this broadcast when I'm all done posting it up and everything, but my running has kept me healthy as far as that goes. I not total. I do get sick. I do get a cold, or I've had the flu. As far as that goes, and you just weather the storm. But I think in the last 40 years, I've probably been bedridden sick 3 times, and that's because of the running. Plus, I'm a strong believer in vitamin C. Vitamin C. Let's see, big greasy cheeseburger. There are a couple of big U.S. Air Force bases in the U.K. Lake and Heath, I know of there, and Mildenhall. I've flown into Mildenhall. I see American jets fly over my house a lot. Yeah, they there's a YouTube. I can't think of the YouTuber that's over there in the UK. I usually look at him, and he usually gets the planes. He's had anything from the C5, the F-15, and he also, I think he had a U-2 takeoff. His videos. I can't think of his name, but I think he's he's outside the Lake and Heath. I may switch to a New Balance, Adidas. Not, my first running shoe, Thamer, now that you say that, was the Adidas Countries. I remember buying when I first started cross country. I said, Dad, I can't run in sneakers. I have to have running shoes. He said, what the hell are running shoes? I says, well, the coach said this is probably a good, and they're not that expensive. At the time, this is back in the late 70s, and it was 20, I think it was like $25, $26 for the pair. He went eight. He said, "You don't pay that much for a pair of sneakers." I said, "Dad, they're running shoes." So he cussed me out a little bit, but I ended up getting a pair. They were a good shoe. They were leather. They had the 3 green. They were called. I don't know if they still make those, but I like those. That was my very first pair of running shoes. Was Adidas Countries, and then when Nike came out with the waffle, oh my God, that just that's back when I really liked Nike. I don't really care for Nike now because they've gotten too political as far as on some of the things they do. So the New Balance is a good shoe. It's an American. Well, you could say it's an American shoe. They get the parts from over there in the Big C, China, I guess, and. But there's a whole slew of them. But I primarily do, I think they're Adidas. I'm not sure what model number they are, but they're a good shoe. This pair that I have right now, I've had that type of pair for like 3 years or something. In my Father's Day, they used to hand out Adidas shoes to students for free. Yeah. That's. But shoes now, you can't buy a good pair of running shoes for less than $80 unless you go to a discount store, as far as that goes. Let's see. Yesterday, I did something different. Instead of the Fireman Rich audio podcast, I did do a Mixcloud show. It's over there on Mixcloud. My new Mixcloud channel is mixcloud.com. Richard M. Roberts, and I got the Tioga Radio Show for 09 May 2023, and I hadn't done a radio show since January, and we've got let's see, I've got tracks from the Bells of Berlin, Badlands, Lone Star, Bruce Springsteen, Queen, Massive Wagon, Pat Benatar, Wow, Blackstone Cherry, they're a good group, and then AC/DC. I like AC/DC. It's a Long Way to the Top. If you want to rock and roll, that's a great song. The thing about it, though, when I tweeted it, if you go to my my Twitter page at Fireman Rich, there's some news that broke yesterday afternoon at 4:00, and I also posted. Let me get to my Twitter page here. Let's see, profile. If you go to my Twitter page at Fireman Rich, and you scroll down, you'll see I got a couple posts here of a gentleman named Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, who got let go by Fox. But before that, you'll see what's that? I've got some. I retweeted a fire thing, but you'll see a picture of me that says Tioga Radio. But the very first line, it says "We're back," and then I got the hands, right? And it's like I just posted that up. It was yesterday morning, just before going to my walk at 8:00. I posted. What time was this or what time did I? Let me see. You can get the actual time. It's 22 hours ago, but it was yesterday morning at 7:35 a.m. Okay, that's what time I posted it. Okay, 7:35 a.m. with that statement very at the top. We're back. I'm back. Okay. Now, if you scroll back up to the Tucker Carlson tweets, there's one from Daily Wire News. When that came up, it posted. I said, well, I'm going to retweet that because that's new. Tucker Carlson is a person who was let go from Fox. Very influential. A lot of people say, I think he's a very stand-up guy. I don't watch his show religiously. I don't think I ever really watched his show, but I would watch excerpts. I think he's a very good guy. There's a lot of people that don't like him, and it's probably if you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get into the political side stuff like that because the point I'm making, if you look at the next one, and it's the post where he is talking. I retweeted. You'll see on his tweet, he says, "We're back." He said the same thing. And that was at what time? That was 13 hours ago. So that was at 4:42. So I'm just looking at the coincidences there. But Tucker Carlson is back. He's going to be doing his show that he used to do on Fox on Twitter. So what's that tell you? Elon Musk is backing Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is a very, he believes in the Constitution. He believes in free speech as far as that goes. I miss Jay Leno from The Tonight Show. Yeah. Jay Leno, he had a bad accident and stuff like that. But Jay Leno, he's a funny guy. He's a good guy. I put him as one of the, but he's a talk show guy, where Tucker Carlson is a little bit more current events and stuff like that. He's not I don't know if he's not a talk show guy, but he's an investigator. He's in the media and stuff like that. He's an influence on the mainstream media and stuff. And there's people that are trying to badmouth him and stuff. The guy is a genuine guy, okay? It's just that there's people that don't really care for his outlooks, just like there's people that don't care for the outlooks of Bill O'Reilly. And I like Bill O'Reilly. He bases everything on fact and history. And I think for the most part, Tucker Carlson gets taken out of context, which that seems to be the normal thing. Take people out of context. It's just like, look at Randy W. Horton getting suspended. I got to make sure I use suspended, not the B word. He was suspended for 30 days. He's responsible. He takes responsibility, but it was taken out of context that he didn't know it wasn't his fault. It was somebody on the stream. So why? Okay, ban me for a couple days, but 30 days, is it warranted? It might be because. So you see what I'm saying? You can take things out of context, and if you really listen to. Because there's another guy that used to be on Fox. I don't watch him that much. He pops up on my YouTube stream called Glenn Beck. He's a little bit far right, okay? But I remember watching him on Fox. He used to be on the 4 o'clock circuit. He wrote this piece, okay? Or he wrote a book. It's, God, what was the name of the book? I can't remember. God, what the hell was the name of the book? But they took excerpts of the book and they went down to the most far left place, Greenwich Village, down there in New York City, and they asked people, "What do you think of this?" "Oh yeah, I believe in that. I believe in that. I believe in that. That's pretty true. You know, we everybody should have freedom of speech and all that." And they agreed with it and said, "Well, then you agree with Glenn Beck?" And they go, "What?" "Well, he's the one that wrote it." "Oh no, I disagree now because of the person." You see what I'm getting at? And that's the thing with Tucker Carlson, as far as that goes. They take it too personal. I'm sure there's things I don't really agree with Tucker Carlson, or even Bill Riley for that fact, but I still respect them. And I still enjoy seeing what their perspective is, even though I disagree with them in some cases, as far as that goes. And I think they're stand-up guys in the industry. They more so than what I'm seeing right now currently on the major news networks and the cable news networks. It's like, so you know what? I don't want to go into a long discussion, but I thought it was just coincidental that I said we're back for my radio show, and then here it is. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 hours later, Tucker Carlson posts this, "We're back," and then he has his bit there. So that's on my Twitter feed. I thought what he posted up yesterday of him being back was very genuine. And he's going to be on Twitter. He's going to bring his show here, and he's being backed. He's not just doing that on his own accord. He's got the backing of Elon Musk. I remember Bill O'Reilly calling everybody pinheads when he was on. Yeah, but I was called a dumbass when I was younger too. Big Greasy. You don't take it personal, okay? You look at the context of what he's putting at. I guess he calls his kids the urchins. He calls, so kids will be that. They're freaking all over the place. I think that's his way of, in a nice way, saying I don't really agree with you. So it's just, you're just taking context and stuff. Bill O'Reilly, I know there's sometimes, like I said, he's a great author. He's got some great books out that are been number one on the New York his Killing book series, as far as that goes. And so I'm just saying, sometimes perception of a person you may have may not be necessarily true if you're basing it on other people's perspective. Because that thing with Glenn Beck, I mean, you read the stuff, I would tell you, you would probably all agree with it, but just because the person that wrote it is no, I can't. There's no way I can agree. You know, they just draw. So it's one of those things I try and keep in the back of my head that, okay, even though I totally disagree with this individual, I'm going to try and be open-minded and listen and just see where they're coming from, and then just sort of respectfully say, yeah, I disagree, as far as that goes. So, but I just thought that was interesting. We're back. I didn't want to go any. So it's just a coincidence, I guess. One of those. But he'll be on Twitter, which I'm looking forward to. Do you know Michael Reagan, Ronald Reagan's adopted son? I bought one of his books, and it was a good read. Yeah, Ronald Reagan, a great president. Yeah. He had some people in his family that didn't agree with him, as far as that goes. But he was brought up in the Hollywood crap environment there. There's people that are moving out of Hollywood because it's not like of old. It's changing and stuff like that, as far as that goes. Hollywood is, some of the stars, people think they're all knowing and stuff. Be your own person to know what you want to know by getting the facts and stuff like that. So, let's see. So I just wanted to bring that up, but the Mixcloud broadcast, I had fun doing that. I used my new computer, as far as that goes, as far as my platform now. I think the last time I did it was on the old box, as far as that goes. Yeah, he was governor of California. Yes, he was the governor of California. He was a Democrat before he became a Republican too. He was a Democrat. He was in charge. I think back in the day when he was in Hollywood, he was also the president of the Actors Guild Union, as far if I recall. So Ronald Reagan, one of the great presidents here and stuff. The only one I feel that was probably he's the best president in my lifetime. Well, then again, I do remember vaguely John F. Kennedy. I remember him being assassinated. I think he would have probably he was right up there, as far as that goes. And but Ronald Reagan, I loved Ronald Reagan. I was in the service when he took president. When I went in the United States Air Force, President Carter was president, and he's still with us. God bless him. There's stuff coming out with, he tried up into his last minute of the presidency and I never gave him a fair shake. So I've changed my mind about, he tried the best that he could do. He was a little wonky. I was born in '64, so I missed the JFK. Yeah, I was just in that one. I vaguely remember the Cuban Missile Crisis because my father, he was scared. I remember the presentation. I was just a kid playing with my toys on the floor, and I'm looking, who's that guy on the black and white TV? And he's talking about, and looking back on it, I didn't know squat what was going on. And also the assassination. I remember the assassination. And also remember the assassination of his brother, Bobby, in '67, and then Martin Luther King. Or was that '68? '67, '68, sometime there. But my favorite president, by far, is Abraham Lincoln. Just what he had to go through, as far as that goes. A lot of some of the stuff that, when you really look at the behind the scenes of Abraham Lincoln, and how he grew up, and the time frame and what he had to deal with, you got to be mentally strong. But he was just a great president. Very, very concerned, keeping the Union together and stuff like that. The Kennedy family has suffered a lot. Yeah, they have. But I guess Robert Kennedy Jr.'s son is running for president. He's going to run on the Democratic side and stuff. And he's got, I don't know, he might be a little more with it than the current president there, Biden. But anyway, let's see. Let's go into some history here. On this day in on this day in 1899. Wow, 1899. He was born. Another and Fred Astaire. This individual probably rubbed elbows with Frank Sinatra. Fred Astaire, the dancer, singer, actor, and choreographer, widely considered the most influential dancer in the history of film, was born in Nebraska in 1899, passed away in 1987. On this day, for the first time in 1908, Mother's Day was observed for the first time in the United States in Grafton, West Virginia. Let's see, what else do we have? The Vietnam, on this day in 1968, the Vietnam peace talks began in Paris between the United States and the North Vietnam. Following the success of anti-war presidential candidate Eugene MacArthur in primary elections, and President Lyndon B. Johnson then halted regional bombing operations in order to encourage the peace negotiations. And those bombings actually brought the North Vietnam government to the peace table, to the tables for peace talks in Paris. It was called Linebacker 1, Linebacker 2. There's a bunch of B-52s that went over. That's the one thing the Vietnamese nationals now that fought in that war against us, they said the one thing they were terrified was those B-52s coming over because you couldn't hear them. And when they dropped their load, it was like raining thunder. Raining thunder, they said. Let's see. On this day in ArcLight, yeah, that's another one too. ArcLight, yes, exactly. And Rolling Thunder 1, Rolling Thunder. There was a couple. That's one of the famous ones there. ArcLight. Thank you, Big Greasy. There, that's. Let's see. On this day in 1969, Apollo 10 transmitted the first color photo of Earth from space. First color photos, Apollo 10, and they were orbiting. They didn't go around. I think, or no, they did. They go out to the moon and came back. I think Apollo. It was Apollo. I watched Apocalypse Now, a great movie. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. It gives you the down and dirty of what the antics of Vietnam. Let's see. Members of Sinn Féin, the political wing of the Irish Republican Army, voted to accept the Good Friday Peace Accord, ending decades of bloodshed in Ireland back in 1998. And I remember growing up, especially when I would spend summers down in Brooklyn at my grandparents'. My grandfather always got the Daily News and the Daily, the Post, the New York Post and the Daily News. And it seemed like every other day there was a picture of another bombing up there in Northern Ireland. So, if the Irish can make peace with the English, the UK, and they're not drinking buddies, I don't think, at this point. But you probably know more about that, Big Greasy, than me, being over there in the UK as far as the disposition and stuff like that. But I just remember as a kid the bombings over there. They were just, and it was kids would get mangled and all that and stuff, and it was just heart wrenching as far as that goes. And they were able to do that in the Middle East to a certain point. But people, we have hot spots and stuff like that. If anything, we should learn from that. And frickin' that guy in Russia, Putin, he should. Let's make peace. It's just like, especially when you're killing innocent people and stuff. Big Greasy, I watched Apocalypse Now. Okay, I got that one. Okay, and let's see here. Just need to check something. How's it? Oh, the thing's going good. And let's see. let's see, Northern Ireland is still politically awkward, but we get on these days more. Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, it's not, nothing's going to be perfect, Big Cheesy, um, and that's, you know, you can't ask more than that. You know, you can't, as far as that goes. Because compared to, because I remember that was almost more harsh. You know, Vietnam was bad, but what was going on with the bombings and the killings and stuff, you know, they're fighting back and forth, and it's just, we're all human beings and stuff like that. So, but that's a fight that went back years and years. I mean, it goes back to the Middle Ages days as far as Northern Ireland, I believe, as far as history. If you can correct me if I'm wrong there, Big Greasy, because you're from the UK, so you would know more than me. An interesting time period, though, on what that was all about. Let's see. What do we got on the AP? AP history for the day, which I'm trying to incorporate on my regular. On this day, May 10th, 1940, during World War II, Germany forces began invading the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and France. World War II started. The same day, British Prime Minister Chamberlain resigned, and Winston Churchill formed a new government there in the UK. Back in 1775, Ethan Allen, not the furniture store, but there was an actual person named Ethan Allen, and his Green Mountain Boys, along with Colonel Benedict Arnold, who later became a traitor for the United States, captured the British-held fortress at Ticonderoga, New York. That was a big success. The Brits have caused a lot of problems in a lot of places. Still, that was nothing to do with me, my father, and and I agree. It just when I talk about it, Big Greasy Cheeseburger, it's basically on a historical thing, because we learned from that. You know, I'm not responsible for what happened in this country back during the Civil War either, but I'm still in tune to it as far as the stuff that as far as that goes. So, you know, look at what the UK. You know, we broke away from you all, and there was some. For the longest time. Now we're the best of friends. Look at World War II. We were at odds with Germany and Japan. Now they're our best allies, and you understand what. So I'm preaching to the choir. So you know we're on the same page as far as that goes. Let's see. 1818. American patriot Paul Revere, who did not say the British were coming. He did. That's something that was. He never really said the British are coming. He said something else. I forget. I just remember I used to grow up saying, "Oh, Paul Revere." He rode through Boston, but it's a whole. If you read history, it's a whole different scenario there. But he passed away in 1818. He was 83. Let's see. In 1865, Confederate President Jefferson Davis was captured by Union forces in Georgia on this day. So that was at the end of the Civil War. In 1869, a golden spike was driven in Promontory, Utah, making the completion of the first transcontinental railroad here in the United States. They say that in Florida now, more Brits in Florida. Really? Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's a good. I'm gonna have to look at that. That's interesting. Who do we know in Florida? Big Joe. We're gonna have to talk to Big Joe. Say, hey, how many Brits have you seen? There's a lot of fish and chip shops going up. But that's interesting. Let's see. Yes, Florida is a major vacation destination from the UK. Really, I would figure the Caribbean islands, as far as that goes. Florida. Oh, that's something. Okay, that's about it for history. Let's see. Last night, or actually 2 days ago. Where's my scores? We had some baseball. The Yankees won yesterday and they won today. Or no, they won 2 days ago. They won. Let's see, Monday night and Tuesday. Let's see. They played Monday night they played against the Athletics. They beat them 7-2, and then they played them last night. They beat the Athletics down there in Yankee Stadium 10-5. The Mets won against. They were off Monday or Tuesday, but they played. No, they were off Monday, but they played yesterday, and they lost to the Cincinnati Reds. As far as that goes, so there's our baseball. Now on the NBA side, I didn't watch them last night. I was watching The Curse of Oak Island. That's a series on the History Channel that they're getting pretty close to some stuff. I've watched it over the years. I think I used to watch Deadliest Catch on the Discovery Channel, and that slowly switched over. I got hooked on Oak Island. Oak Island is very interesting because they're finding stuff on an island that what did they use this island? It was they have the so-called money pit. Supposedly the Ark of the Covenant is buried there or something like that, along with a bunch of other treasures. But that's so the myth goes. But it's just interesting from a historical standpoint. Some of the things that are finding that island, it ties back to England, ties back to Italy, ties back to the Middle East as far as that goes. It's very intriguing. But I watched that last night. But my Celtics, they played last night and they lost to the 76ers. So at the 7-game series, Philly leads at 3-2. So they're going to play again. When do they play? When does this game play? Oh, this is tomorrow. The Celtics play tomorrow down in Philly, so that's going to be they have to tie the series. And the New York Knicks are in the same boat. They're no, they're not. They're 3-1. They got to win the next 3 games to win the series. That's almost next to impossible. The Lakers, it looks like they're 3-1 against the Warriors, so that's going to be pretty interesting. And the Nuggets, they lead the Suns 3-2. So the NBA they're working to the final championship. So as far as that goes, let's see. Our stream is doing pretty good. How long have we been on for? Oh, we've been on for an hour already. Holy crap! I lose track of time as far as that goes. So there we have it. That's the show, I guess, right? Let's see. My ex-boss was from Boston. She always pronounced it Borston. Yeah, Borston. I lived up there. I was stationed at Hanscom Air Force Base for, let's see, the first time I was there for almost 3 years. Second time I was there for a year before I got reassigned. I was at a point in my career, I was almost going to get out, and I stayed in, and I was going to different spots the 1 year. But I was there at Hanscom Field for 4 years outside Boston. And I remember coming home when I was on leave. My father would say, "What are you doing with that Boston accent? You're a New Yorker." And I picked up a Boston accent for some reason. My father, he had the New Yorker. He was a typical he was born down in Manhattan, and he was brought up in Brooklyn. So I remember it seemed like I never noticed him having the typical New York accent, the New York City accent. I can remember as a kid driving down to New York City on Route 17. As we got down close to the city, we're going down the West Highway there, past the tomb of Grant's tomb on the West Shore, West Boulevard there. Good morning, Mel. We're just getting ready to close out here. We've been on for about an hour now. But his accent would get stronger, and he would just swear at people cutting in front of him and stuff like that. I look back on it. I was scared when he was like that. It's like, oh my God, he's really upset. I look back on it, and I just get a chuckle on it. And you can watch the replay if you like. I appreciate you being here though. Because currently they're, what do we got for time out there? You're in your evening time there, Mel, right? And for the folks, I like to recognize the people that are in chat, because the people that are on the replay, watching this on the replay on Rumble and YouTube, they can't necessarily see the chat unless you were to watch it on YouTube or on Twitch. But Mel, she's from. Let me see if I get this right, Mel. I got my notes here. Rockhampton, Center, Queensland, and we appreciate you being here. She's our. Hey, we're just talking about how you call the national day today is shrimp. You call them prongs down there in Australia, and Big Cheesy, Big Greasy Cheeseburger. He was letting me know that they also call them prongs in the UK, which I didn't really know that until he said that. So I know they call them prongs. They call them, but the here in the United States they always say what's it, a so-called Australian phrase, shrimp on the barbie or something like that. They used to say, as far as that goes. And I didn't know that. Oh, you didn't know they called them that in the UK either. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. But I appreciate you being here, Mel. Even if, but we're going to have to close out. I've been on for an hour. I got to get ready. I got to post this, get this packaged up and post over there on Rumble and YouTube. And okay, Tina, thank you for being here. You're back. Okay, and we're going to go and I got to get a walk in this morning, and then I got to mow some lawns later. It looks like blue sky's coming out. It's going to be a great day today. So I'm going to have fun mowing the lawn. So you all have a great one. And thank you for being here. Let me go down the list here. Who do we have in here? We had coming in, we had Tim Fan, Yo-Yo. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Thamber, coming in from Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Big Greasy Cheeseburger. He's a broadcaster. He's broadcasting here. I see I see the replays there, Tim, or Big Cheesy, and he's broadcasting. He does the Microsoft Flight Simulator. I got a good friend that he's been playing that for years. He loves it. It's the closest thing you can actually fly an airplane, unless you get in one. But thank you, Big Greasy Cheeseburger, for being here. Thank you, Tina, for being here. Thank you, LadyCat31. Who else did we have here? We had Mel, who came in. I think that was it for in the chat here. We had those individuals in the chat, and I appreciate the chat. The chat is very important. Nice chatting. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Big Cheese. Nice chatting with you, sir. And Melanie 170270. Thank you for being here. And thank you all that were watching the broadcast, popping in and out. I know there's people that pop in and out and stuff like that. That's okay. And thank you. Appreciate that. Same feeling is mutual there, Big Cheesy. Big Greasy Cheeseburger, I should say. But and those people that watch on the replay on Rumble and YouTube, thank you for your views. I really appreciate that too, as far as that goes. But it's time to go, get our day started. Those people that have to go to work, have fun, try and get through the day. And we'll be back for the live stream Friday. We got an audio podcast tomorrow over there on Spotify for podcasters. And I will be posting it over there on my Twitter feed, @FiremanRich, where I told myself as a social media observer, social media enthusiast. In other words, I love playing on this thing called the internet, and doing this on Twitch, it's always fun. Thank you very much, and I really appreciate it, guys. Really appreciate it. So wherever you may be on this big blue marble, live life, have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. Take care, folks. Thanks again. Good on you, Rich. Thank you, Mel. Take care, folks.